everyone, I'm JD from Willowbound Journals, and I have got a tutorial for you today showing how I made the base of this vintage French journal. I'm calling it a layered envelope journal, and it was inspired by the flip-flop journal, which I have shared below in the description box a tutorial of. So I've just been playing around with it, trying to work out a way that suits me to make the journals that I like, and you can make it in 5 envelopes, and the great thing is you can adapt it however you want, as evidenced by transforming the flip-flop journal into the layered envelope journal. And then I've got another version here as well, because you can just kind of go nuts with layers. So many ways to do it, but this is a more simple, streamlined version to create this one. And what we're going to do is, well, first of all, I'll show you what envelopes I have. I've just got a small one here, which is this pack here, so you can see the dimensions if you need to take note of any of those. Then we've got 3 of these plain ones, which are these ones here. So again, you can take note of any dimensions. And then we have 1 of the window envelope, which is just the same size as this, but with a window. And I mean, you could use any envelope sizes you want. I trim these down as well. So just the great thing I love about this is you can use what you have on hand, envelopes. So 3 of the plain, 1 window, 1 small. And the first thing we're going to do is get one of our plain envelopes, and we're going to just trim off the flap. Okay, so, and I've got it in the order that they're going to be put together. So we've got the small one first. This one's going to, the flap is going to come over the edge here, and that is our cover there. So I call this like an actual flap. This is our journal cover with a pocket. And then over here we come to these ones, and all we're going to do is put these together. Hang on, let me just show you something even more simple. If you wanted to have the most simple journal in this kind of style, here is your front cover, here's your back cover. Done. And that is your layered envelope journal, because there's a layered envelope on top of the front cover. And then to do the back, I'll just skip to here. What you're going to do is turn it over so that the flap will be on this side. And I just want to trim it down so that we can see those layers. So I'm just going to trim this edge, and then somewhere along here, you can trim it higher or lower, doesn't really matter. And I just want it a bit straighter if I can get it straighter. And that will just slip on here, and I will later on take that to my sewing machine, and I will stitch down this edge and down this edge, so that what will happen is that will be stitched, that will be stitched. There's a pocket here. I could stitch at the top as well and have a side loading pocket, but I like having more room to fit things in, having that open there. But you can play around with how you sew things and what direction the pockets are. So if you want just the simple one, that is it. Now I'm just going to trim off the top about, I can use this as a template, about here. Again, as you can see, I don't measure anything. I just do what looks good to my eye. And of course, I can trim that up later on if I want. I can keep trimming it down if I want. It's all going to get covered with whatever you decorate it with. But here's our flap on the front. Here's our front cover. Here's our back cover of the journal. You're going to sew in your signature there. And then here's your back cover with a flap on it too. To make it a bit more interesting, a bit more layered, what you can do is add another envelope here. And honestly, you could just keep adding envelopes. I'm just going to trim that down as well. And you could just add another envelope and another envelope and another envelope if you wanted, but this will just get a bit too bulky, that's all. So then we're going to put this one here, and we're going to put this one here, line this one up here, and we've got our front cover with a flap there. We've got this middle one here, so our signature, journal signature is going to go there. And then what I like doing with this part is making an ephemera holder to go with the journal. So have a like large pocket sewn in here. Maybe you could do a pocket there and a pocket there, side loading pockets, top loading pockets. You can do the pockets however you want, arrange them however you want with as many pockets as you want. And then this is just a nice little place to tuck in extra ephemera, because the pages will be decorated with ephemera too. And then depending on where you sew them, where you cut them open, you can have a top loading pocket up here, a side loading pocket here, or a side loading pocket here. And often what I will do is cut open edges and cut up open the whole lot. That one makes it a bit easier to cover the surfaces, you know, glue them down and add your papers. And then I'll just stitch them back up where I want them so that I can say where the pockets will be. And so that is as hopefully simple as it gets. Here's your front cover with the flap. Here's your journal. Here's your ephemera holder. Here's your back cover with the flap there. And then all you do, you can just glue that down if you want. I like to decorate all the pieces first, just because it's easier not to have to worry about things like the hinge. You can take it off, decorate, and then glue it on afterwards. It does make the gluing part and the sewing part a little bit tricky, because you have to remember where the flap goes. It's like, oh yeah, the flap doesn't go here, it goes here. And these flaps, this one's easy to remember, they all come here. And the reason I do that is so that there's some nice structure for my binding. There's like all these layers here to help with that, plus this layer. And I wrap this one all the way around, again, just to give it that structure. So one of my signature holes will go here, and one will go here, and it's going through 1, 2, 3 layers there. And it just gives it some nice sturdiness. Of course, you can reinforce it with tape, lace, fabric, all that stuff as well, if you would like. And obviously, there's going to be many other ways to make this journal. And I would trim these down as well. So you can see here, I haven't put it together yet. That edge there, I've just trimmed down a little bit like that. And so this one, all I've done is added some extra smaller envelopes on the front. So I've just trimmed them down to size, used the normal standard envelope here, trimmed them at different various sizes. So one here, one there, and that's how I've gotten these smaller ones at the front. And then they're just layered at the back. You can see all their flaps here, which gives a nice look to it as well. So I decorate the flaps as well. Great thing about the flaps is you can decorate those with washi tape too if you want. If you just want to decorate this with a pretty paper, and then all the flaps, you can use a nice washi tape down there to decorate them. So you can really adapt this to suit you. You can add as many layers as you want. You can add as many envelopes as you want. And then there's your signature. So I'll show you here. This is what the signature looks like here for this part. And there's your front cover, your back cover of your signature. And it just looks like a normal journal. And then at the back here, there's your fun ephemera holder. That is so cool. You don't need that if you don't want. You could just have the journal part and just attach this to this cover here. So yeah, I really want to emphasize and just keep re-emphasizing that you can adapt it and change it, add it to suit you, add whatever layers, as many envelopes, as many different sizes, wherever you want the pockets. And yeah, this is what's suited me. I like more streamlined, more simple journals. And so I really like this. I would probably even skip this part, the ephemera holder. I just think that's kind of fun, a bit of extra something. So that's why I put that there. But yeah, love this. You could even do some extra layers on the back cover here as well, which would be kind of cool. And yeah, I have finished this one, decorating it. Now see this one, you can see how I've opened it up so that it was just easier to sew. Oh, and also to create my layered look so it doesn't go too far over. And then all you can do is sew that back up. So that's where I will sew it down here and here, so that this will be a nice open pocket there. And that just goes there. It's just really fun finding papers that go well together and all that kind of thing. So yeah, I might even do a little workshop over on my Patreon showing how I made this one from start to finish, because my plan is also to scan every page, and every page of the signature, I've already got the signature ready, and the ephemera as well, so that people can follow along and make their own one at home if you would like. So I thought that could be a fun project. And yeah, I also think I want to experiment again and do one. So this is all vintage French ephemera or vintage French documents. I think I want to try another one using my personal papers and personal ephemera and sort of make a layered journal documenting my life, sort of a memoir journal. So I'm playing around with that idea. After I work out what I'm doing with this one, and put this together, then I think I might work on that one and maybe turn that one into a workshop as well, where I not only show you how to put the journal together, but once you've kind of mastered this and used printables or whatever papers you have, then we can move on to our more precious treasures, the real authentic things from our own lives that we may have collected: postcards, envelopes, papers and documents. You know, you can go right back to our birth certificate, if you have a birth notice in the newspaper, baby cards, you know, and since it's an envelope journal, maybe turn it into a correspondence journal. I've got lots of cards, envelopes and postcards that I've kept throughout my life, letters from my grandparents, my aunties, my uncles, friends, you guys, my beautiful subscribers. Maybe I could turn it into a correspondence. Okay, now I'm going on a tangent here with more ideas. At first I was thinking of making it more like a keepsake journal. Now I'm thinking of a correspondence one. That would work really well with the envelope base. So yeah, you can make any theme journal you want. I also think I want to try an Edith Holden one and a botanical one. Ooh, and so I just want to try all different styles, different ways of layering, all that kind of thing. And I really hope the excitement I have is coming across on the screen so that you are inspired at home to make your own and really have it to suit you. That's what I like about this, is that, you know, it's not a one size fits all. You can adapt it, you can change it to what you like. And I love that about junk journals, is that you can find a style for everyone and to meet your needs for how you journal and for what you want to document, what stories you want to put in there. You get to choose the pages, you get to choose the layout, you get to choose how many layers there are, you get to choose how many pockets, where the pockets are. So I'm just going on a bit of a run on inspiration here with this layered look. So I'm having fun. I hope you have fun at home trying it out as well, and just get creative, experiment, try things, and let's have fun crafting, making journals together and filling them up with our stories. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to ask if I need to clarify anything, and stay tuned for that Patreon series where we do a workshop making 1, 2, or 3 of these and hopefully filling it up together too, with some prompts and some storytelling and some different things. Oh, so excited. Okay, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.